I'm Isabella Martin.
And I'm Anna Mizarowski.
And today we will be talking about pseudo events and their rise in the social media age.
According to Daniel Borstein from the book Just the Facts, a pseudo event is a highly contrived occurrence taking place to satisfy the public demand for startling, vividly intriguing news.
This quote from Borstein describes the Paul wedding perfectly, because in the beginning, social media went wild, tweets of interested viewers wondering if this event was even real.
Borstein says that celebrities are used as a means of entertaining distraction from reality. This wedding most definitely could be seen as a distraction to several users because many paid $50 to watch the live stream of the wedding.
We interviewed a few students around campus to get their take on pseudo events, and even if they knew what a pseudo event is.
So I think that pseudo events can be really dangerous because a lot of times obviously they're not true, and they can pit two different sides of people against each other and create a lot of controversy and drama. And even look at election where everybody was so polarized against each other, and it's still a thing now, and relationships are broken over that, and people seriously get hurt by that and their feelings and stuff like that. So when the media comes out and persuades people with events that look real because of all the technology we have today too to make things look real, it can be really hard to determine what's real and what's not. And the people that are trying to make non-real things look real really should stop that, because it's not good for the nation, and it's not good for honestly I think the whole planet as a whole.
The pseudo events affect our society by creating a false image that is not quite true, and this can disrupt the society because people shouldn't learn the truth and not false.
So a popular pseudo event that I know of, I'd say, is probably political rallies, with politicians paying people to come to rallies to make it look like they have inflated numbers, or tweeting things trying to get people just from certain areas just to come, and even though they don't really want to, and it just kind of makes it appear like they're more popular than they are.
The event I know is the Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner breakup, where tabloids said they were never getting back together, but Kylie Jenner said they were on a break and they're co-parenting just fine.
Okay, so a few weeks ago I saw this thing in the tabloids, and it said Prince William cheated on Princess Kate with Princess Kate with one of her friends, and basically I think that was all created because it actually wasn't true, and it's probably just created to for the royal family to get attention and stuff.
A pseudo event that I know of is when Kanye West had a line in one of his songs about Taylor Swift, and he needed permission to use her name and say what his line said about her, and so he had a recording of him asking her something unrelated to the verse, and she said yes, she gave consent to it, but in reality it was not, the question did not relate to the verse in the song, it was another question, so he mixed up what she said yes to, and because of that he used the song and said that he had proof that she said yes. So then she fired back at him and she got called a snake. Some people didn't like Kanye West anymore, some people didn't like her anymore.
Wow, I am so shocked. Most students had never even heard of a pseudo event, nonetheless know what one is. This is extremely concerning and eye-opening because in this day and age, especially on social media, people tend to believe everything they see and hear, and this is exactly why pseudo events work.
In one interview specifically, did you notice that when asked what an example of a pseudo event is, a student listed Donald Trump's rallies as one?
This student was spot on, because according to Katie Tur's book, Unbelievable, Trump's rallies are another perfect example of a pseudo event.
Katie says, after the 10th interruption, I tweeted that Trump had abruptly stopped his stump speech and walked off stage to shake hands. He denied this plain as day observation. Then he launched his Twitter attack. I should have seen this coming. Hope Hicks sent me an email this morning on December 5th at 11:45 a.m. Hope Hicks wrote, Katie, Mr. Trump thought your tweets from last night were disgraceful. Not nice. Best Hope.
This is a good example of a pseudo event because Trump is basically claiming that something that in fact happened never did. Katie Tur was at this rally and saw with her own eyes how it all played out.
On the contrary, pseudo events are not always events created by the media, but the users of media, like Pizzagate.
In the book Like War by P.W. Singer and Emerson T. Brooking, they tell of Pizzagate. In December 2016, a man armed with a semi-automatic rifle burst into Comet Ping Pong Pizza in Washington, D.C., demanding answers about a ridiculous conspiracy theory which claimed the restaurant held dozens of child sex slaves in the basement. There was no basement in this pizza restaurant, let alone child sex slaves.
This outrageous conspiracy theory, blown out of proportion by the media, is another example of a pseudo-event because nobody knew if Pizzagate was true. The only thing they knew was that they read multiple tweets alleging this was true, therefore creating a made-up event.
The authors of Like War describe this crazy event as fake news. Fake news can sometimes coincide with a pseudo-event because both are made-up events that did not happen. However, fake news can happen accidentally and pseudo-events primarily happen on purpose.
Pizzagate can be seen as both because news outlets reported on this event, gathering more viewers to hear about this conspiracy theory. If the event just stayed at Twitter, it would be fake news, but because news outlets reported on something that they knew was not true, it becomes a pseudo-event.
Now, let's recap.
A pseudo-event is an event or activity conducted for the purpose of media publicity.
The three examples of these events are President Donald Trump's rally and interaction with Katie Tur, Tana Mojo and Jake Paul's wedding, and lastly, the Pizzagate scandal.
Without Borstein's description of pseudo-events and his belief that celebrities create a means of distracting reality for entertainment, pseudo-events would be undiscovered.
But don't forget Katie Tur and how she uncovered fake events that Donald Trump orchestrated in her book, Unbelievable.
What about Like War and how they described the event of Pizzagate, an absurd occurrence where the public began to believe a conspiracy theory that had no basis?
With all of these examples and books we talked about today, we hope you are now educated about pseudo-events and how they are constantly becoming more prevalent throughout the age of social media that we live in.
Thanks for listening.